You and I need to talk about UI. Recently, I released a video talking about the game Mancala and how to use the Minimax algorithm to dominate in the competitive scene. The game in that video was in the terminal, and just like light theme users, terminal UI coders get sentenced to coder jail. So how do we fix this? Well, we're going to need Tkinter, and not the statue, but the Python library. Tkinter is a popular Python library used for creating graphical user interfaces. It provides a set of built-in components and widgets that allow the developers to design and implement interactive applications with ease. Tkinter supports various functionalities such as buttons, labels, text boxes, and menus, making it a versatile tool for creating desktop applications.
But what about the Django?
And my answer is, I wanted to condense this video's code into one file and not talk about all the features that Django has. So what is UI? Well, UI is a fancy way of saying we will now take 5 lines to initialize a variable instead of 1. In other words, UI stands for User Interface, which refers to the visual elements and interactive components of a software application. It encompasses the design, layout, and presentation of buttons, menus, forms, icons, and other graphical elements that facilitate the user's interaction and improve the overall experience. This comes at a cost of giving the developer coding it a case of carpal tunnel. So, let's now take a look at the UI we will be making. It's not perfect, but my specialty is making things work, not making things work pretty. And until ChatGPT can generate code that doesn't crash or hold my CPU hostage, this is what we got. For UIs, we'll need to start with the classics. And by classics, I mean a story of text that will make the Star Wars director, George Lucas, cast a 6-part movie over our code. This is the initialization. Everything that we see on the screen needs to be initialized, scaled, and gridded. And while I could go into detail, the code can be found in the comments and descriptions below. After that, the code is very similar. So much similar, I will only be going over the new functions. We have this new method called sync backend to frontend. This is meant to help display all of our variables in the appropriate labels and buttons. While we could pull from the frontend variables themselves, this helps remove the headache of needing to call cGetText. ChoosePlayer is a function that will restart the game and assign the user as either player 1 or player 2, depending on which button they selected. Notice how if the player is player 2, we tell the AI to start its turn. This is because the AI is reactive to the user's moves. Finally, we no longer ask for the player to type out their move. Instead, we listen to see which button the player selects and validate that the selected button is a good choice. And there you have it. Now our Mancala Minimax code has a UI overhaul and will be able to pop up on our screen asking if we want to interact with some local bytes in our area. Enjoy!